I hear this phrase pretty regularly. I don't know if it would be worth it. And you know what? I hear that both from building owners and also from CPAs, or I hear from building owners that they've talked with their CPAs and their CPAs have said, I don't know that your building would be worth it to consider for cost segregation. You know, anytime you hear that, I'm just going to tell you that that person doesn't really understand cost segregation. I don't care if they're a tax advisor, I don't care if they're a CPA, they've been doing this occasionally over the years. Anybody who says, I don't know that it would be worth it, clearly does not have a cost segregation estimate in their hands. If they had a cost segregation estimate in their hands, they would be able to say, yes, this is worth it, or no, this is not worth it. You wouldn't have this wishy-washy, I'm not sure if it's worth it. The only time you're going to get into if I'm not sure if it's worth it is a couple of variables. Are you about to sell the property? Are you unsure of what your tax situation is going to look like by the end of the year? And if that's the case, then maybe you just wait a few more months to see what your income level and tax liability looks like for the year. And then you'll know whether or not it should be worth it or not to do the cost segregation study. But anytime you hear somebody say, I'm not sure it's worth it when it comes to your building and doing cost segregation, it tells me that they do not have an estimate in their hands for cost segregation and they are not particularly familiar with cost segregation. We can go down on buildings down to about 200,000 basis. That's almost every building in the country when you look at commercial real estate. We can study everything and anything. So let me know. We're not going to sell you a study that you can't use, but if you've got a building and you have any kind of basis in it, reach out. I work all over the country. I represent CSSI. You can follow me on my blog at costsegbuilding.com. Also, we've got a great new calculator. Go to costsegcalc.com, plug in your asset, and it will give you an excellent estimate on what the tax savings might be for you and your building. Hope you're doing well. Have a great day. See ya.